Lastly, we'll move on to B, conditional use permits. Item number 1, CU-20-009, public hearing at 6:02 p.m. Request for a conditional use permit to allow a mobile vendor at 3815 West Washington Street within B1 Community Business District by Fleet Farm. So if there's anybody from the public who would like to speak on this item, come on up. Good evening. Feel free to start with your name and address and let us know what's on your mind.
It's Kim Smite, and it's 110 South Fifth Avenue. Could you explain how many food vendors you're going to have? And is this the new Fleet Farm or the old Fleet Farm?
It's the new property.
The new one.
Yeah.
The new Fleet Farm.
And how it's set up is it's one vendor at a time.
One vendor at a time. And how are they going to be taxed? What's the benefit to us, the city of West Bend, to have mobile food?
That's why, our offices we deal with the land use portion of the, use of the property. When it comes to the taxes and what have you, that I don't know.
What's the advantage to West Bend to have this?
I guess the advantage is that it opens up, other uses on the property. We have the same use on other properties in the city. We have other areas that have been approved for mobile food vendors. It's an opportunity to draw, other uses in there and, help draw the business.
So they really don't have a stake in the community. It's kind of fly-by-night people.
I don't know if say that and comment on that.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Menards has it right now.
Right.
Everybody you talk to loves going there. I think it's Thursdays, maybe, I'm not sure the date, but it's just another place to stop, and have a sandwich or whatever. But I think the Menards thing has been a home run so far from what I've heard and saw. So.
They do a pretty good job, with the exception of the garden hose for their water. That part's a little bit iffy. But downtown during the farmers market, it's really pitiful what happens after the farmers market. I wanted to get pictures last week, but it was all cleaned up. Usually after the farmers market, I think there's 3 food trucks down there. The place is a mess. The garbage bins are overflowed until Monday, Tuesday. There's garbage floating all over the street. So who's going to be responsible to keep it up? Who's going to be responsible for sanitation?
In this case, it would be on private property. It's the food vendor, the farm is requiring the food vendor to take care of all their trash.
So who takes care of the downtown during the farmers market? Who's supposed to be cleaning that up?
That I don't know, because that one, I believe, is regulated through their special event permit that they have for the farmers market.
So if it becomes an issue, we would just go to Fleet Farm for it.
Correct.
Okay.
Or it would come to us and then we would, form. Fleet Farm is the permit holder for this.
Okay, so it's going
We would be contacting them.
Okay, so they'll kind of oversee it, so there is some kind of regulation.
Yeah, so
Okay.
the responsibility falls on the entity that does have a stake within this community, as I guess you alluded to.
And where do they get their sanitation? Their water? Is it going to be a garden hose like at Menards?
I'm not sure.
Usually they're self-contained.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. And do you guys know about the inspection?
That stuff is regulated through Washington County.
Okay, so then they would oversee all that. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. If there's no other discussion, then I have a motion to end the public hearing. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And then we'll open it up if there's any comments from Jim or Mark.
I'll give a real quick brief
Sure.
on this. So, Food Farm has requested that conditional use permit. Food Farm has provided both a sketch and an operation letter for the use of that mobile food vendor. They're going to be located at the northeast corner of their parking lot. The hours of operation would be Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The food trucks would be allowed to operate during the normal business hours of Fleet Farm, so they would not be operating outside of those hours that Fleet Farm is open. State Farm is again requiring the food truck vendors to be responsible for cleaning up the site in the area and then also for disposing of their refuse, or whatever is generated. And no additional signage is going to be proposed on the site. They will be utilizing anything that State Farm has or any other social media contacts that they have for that. Staff has reviewed the location and the traffic flow patterns of this for the food truck vendor and feels that it's an appropriate area to be located in so it won't interfere with daily operations of the retail store. Public notices published in the paper and area and people notified within 200 feet of the conditional use and notified and staff received no inquiries or comments on the conditional use. Staff would recommend approval of the conditional use with the 5 listed conditions that we have.
Before you vote on this, I would also just, we've been asked why why it takes the form of a conditional use permit in this case. Like the Menards and a couple of others that the Plan Commission has approved. It takes the form of the conditional use because it modifies the site plan approval for Fleet Farm. It's on their property. Theoretically, they could be proposing something that would be in conflict with something that the commission depended upon when they did the previous approval. That's the general logic. I would also say that by allowing the conditional use process on the private lands, it removes the time restrictions that would normally be found on an approval for such as a temporary use. And it also allows a non-vendor specific approval where the authority is to Fleet Farm, the property owner in this case, to be able to pick who they want and when they want them to come into it in compliance with the hours that are limited by the permit. So there is a rationale why it is not done under a CU for a larger site like this.
Great. Thank you very much, Mark. Are there any other questions from the commission? Yes, Commissioner Fleischman.
One question. When I read the operation plan, I assumed it meant multiple trucks because it said to allow numerous food trucks within a parking lot. So, did I hear you say that it was just one truck? When I read our conditions, that say truck, in number 2, because that says trucks in number 3. So I just want to confirm that they know there's one truck.
Yeah, that's how we've just set up all of our conditional use permits. That it's always been limited to one vendor at a time.
And we understand that.
Yep, and I expressly relayed that to them when we had our initial meeting for that.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you.
I had a conversation with Jim about this earlier today, and he explained to me that today might be a pizza truck, tomorrow might be a sandwich truck, the next day might be a barbecue truck, ice cream truck, whatever. So it would be different trucks on different days.
I understand.
Yeah. Yes, I understand that, yeah. I had the same question, yeah.
Great. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the conditional use permit.
Motion approved?
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Being no further business before the Planning Commission, I'll adjourn by the call of the chair. Have a great evening.